and Alex are back again with another tutorial this week. This week we are going to be doing... Alex, what are we doing?
We're going to be doing a tutorial inside Adobe XD, and I'm going to show you how to do a slider and do like a progression. So today we've got a teeth whitening example for a dentist. So over like a 6-week period, you can see how teeth whitening improves your teeth. All inside Adobe XD. So let's get straight into it. So as you see, we've got a few different artboards. So you see the 4 across the top, that's going forward, and the 2 across the bottom, that's going backwards. I'll explain that a bit later once we get into the prototype, but I'll show you how exactly this is made. So as you can see, we've got a woman with yellow teeth, and this is at 0 weeks, and this is to show obviously the reader the process of teeth whitening. So say if someone's got really bad teeth or needs teeth whitening and wants white teeth, this would be great for them to actually look through to see like improvements, see actual work, what's being done by that dentist. So the first thing we've done is we've created this lovely slider at the bottom, from 0 to a 4 to even 6 weeks. This can be like as long as you want it, as short as you want it. It's completely customizable.
Was the slider created in? It wasn't created in XD, was it?
No, this slider was created in, I believe it was Illustrator and a little bit of Photoshop. But the tooth itself, that was created in Illustrator as well, by itself.
Yeah.
But the first thing we done is we grouped all this together. But I'll just ungroup all this so you can see what I've actually done. So we created a mask, and the mask is inside the group. And this is for the teeth. So I'll ungroup all this now so you can exactly see how we've done it. So we've got an orange layer, so if I hide that, as you can see, the woman has got bright orange teeth. So what we've done here, we've got a path on the left hand side, and all we've done there is we've created a mask on the teeth. So we've actually pen tooled each point of the teeth, all around the teeth, as closely as we can. This is obviously a prototype app, so this is to show the client what this could look like when it goes to web development.
I actually found the pen tool and this was a lot more difficult than Illustrator.
Yeah, so the pen tool's a lot different. It's not like Illustrator at all. You can't just click on a point and make it go wherever you want, can you?
No, I think it's a bit more difficult.
Yeah, so that's just a quick note to self there, really. Just be careful when using the pen tool. Also, we are using Windows, not a Mac. Some functionality is not in XD at the moment on Windows. It's only on Mac. Stuff like masks, you've got to use the hotkey, as we don't have any of the file object or anything at the top. So we'll tell you all that anyway. But so we've created a mask using the pen tool. We've pen tooled around the teeth as closely as possible. And then what we've done is we've created a huge orange square, really, to cover the artboard. And then we've highlighted the path and the orange square, and then from there you want to press Ctrl-Shift-M. And what that does, that creates the mask. So as you can see on the left hand side, we've got the mask group 3. And all that does is put the orange square, and if you're familiar with masks, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All that does is put the orange square inside the teeth. What we've pen tooled. So from there you can go Ctrl-G, which creates a group. And the reason why I've done that is I'll explain that in a minute, but when you open the group, you go back into mask group 3. On the right hand side you should have appearance, and then if you want to just drag this slider down. We had ours around 20%. Now that looks realistic, like for someone with bad teeth. So we want a yellow tint, but not too unrealistic. If we had it say at like 40%, or 48%, it gets a little unrealistic. Another thing about XD, it doesn't have blending options, which we hope Adobe watch this video and add in.
Yeah, it looks quite flat at the minute. So if you have like the opacity quite high, it's just
yeah,
looks like a flat colour on.
Yeah.
Yeah, when obviously the opacity's down, the teeth come through. So
Yeah. So it probably worked really well if it was on like 64 or 50 and had a multiply option on there. It'd work really well, or even an overlay. But for XD, it just simply doesn't have that. So you just got a trial and error really, and it's all about working with just what you've got in opacity at this stage. So we've got ours set at 20%, and then we've grouped that layer there, and then what that does, that just resets it, so it gives it a parent. So now we're at 100%. The reason we do that is so we can just work in nice block increments, and we can put each artboard, and then on the second artboard we've got that 80%. On the third artboard we've got that at 30, so it's quite a big jump. So after 2 to 4 weeks you should see the biggest change. Obviously the client might say, oh, between 2 to 4 weeks that's the biggest change, so that's why your teeth see a massive change there. So it's all about the client and what the client wants, but it's a really cool feature. And obviously at 6 weeks it should be on 0% because the teeth are completely white and the process should be done. And now you're probably wondering, right, that's okay, but why have I just done all that work? Like, what's the point in it? So I don't know if you're familiar, but XD, it's a very good app. It's good for web and app building, and it's really quite fresh and new to the industry. So a lot of people are using it, but a lot of people are using it to show the clients what the website could look like to save them a lot of time in web development. So instead of creating the full website, what they'll do is they'll sketch it down all here, and they'll prototype a few ideas and send it off to the client, and then come back, and then it's basically done. And then if the client likes it, yeah, that's great, send it to the web developer. If the client doesn't, we can just change it again and send another prototype off. So in the top left we've got the design and prototype bars here, so you want to click on prototype, and then once you go into prototype it'll look quite the same, but you'll see this little blue bar. This is your home button, so this is your starting point. And then I'll show you the process of how we've animated it. So the first thing we've done is we've clicked on the tooth, and then we've created a link from the tooth to the next artboard. So if we click on that link, you can see we've clicked on a drag because we want to drag the tooth, and we've clicked on auto animate. And what this auto animate does is basically it looks at the next artboard and the previous artboard and figures out, right, you want to drag the tooth from that position to the next artboard's position, and all that does is allow you to drag it to the next artboard's position. And then obviously you want the destination to be the next artboard, so and snap. If you want it to ease different, you can have it bounce, so it bounces back, ease in, ease out. Snap's a good one, so if you go past 50%, so if you go past halfway, it'll snap to the next point. And all we've done here is the exact same to artboard 2 to 3 and 3 to 4.
So all you're doing is just joining these in a line.
Yeah.
You're just moving each artboard up.
Yeah, so when you actually play these, you'll be able to drag it from one point to the next and see the whole process. And as you're going through each artboard, this writing will change as well, so 0 to 2 to 4 to 6.
Oh, so it wouldn't actually be an animation, would it? It would actually be user experience. People can actually drag the tooth up and down.
Yeah, so
cool.
yeah, exactly. And then if you want it to go backwards, you definitely want to create obviously a backwards motion, because that's another thing which we hope what gets added in, is that you can animate more than one component to 2 different artboards. At the moment you've got to create a new artboard for this. So we've created 2 more here. So 4 weeks back we've named this. So all this does is link to this, so you can drag it backwards, and the same for 2 weeks as well. And this 2 weeks just goes back to the home page, so it's a nice loop. So we'll just show you how that works by pressing the play button. So as you can see, we're at 0 weeks, and all we do here is drag the tooth, 0 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 6. And as you can see,
the information's changing as well.
Yeah, the information's changing, so it does like a nice little fade. And if I was just to drop it here, just over, it'll just snap to 6 weeks, because it's on that snap feature. You can have this change, so you can have it easy ease, and you can. There's several features, but today we'll be covering the snap. So if you want to go backwards, like we said, just drag it back like that, and this is really good for the customer to see. So that was just a quick tip.
What else do you think this could work on? Besides the tape, I mean.
Well, it could work on a number of things. So if you wanted, you could even have a car, like choose your colour of your car, and you could have a slider, say, blue, green, yellow.
So it could work quite well for like e-commerce kind of.
Yeah.
Like polo shirts or something like
that.
So.
Yeah. So you could have a range of colours on the bottom, or you could have like circles where you click them and the colour of the shirt changes. So it's endless, really. But I really think the slider is a really great tool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really
cool, it's really cool, especially for like dentists and stuff like that. Even it can be used on different products. But
so what else do you think is really good with XD right now?
So another feature of XD, what we found out recently, is the repeat grid. So the repeat grid is just great for basically repeating something on the fly dead quick. So if I was to draw a square like this, and then say I wanted 20 of these squares, just say for instance, I just wanted loads of these squares, so I just go, right, there we go, stop there, all the way down.
So are these artboards?
No, so these are shapes, and so as you can see, this is like logged onto this artboard here. Right. So it's great for, say, mobile apps. So say if you had like Instagram and you're on the profile page and you needed loads to show someone's profile, and they've got loads of pictures, so you just use repeat grid.
Yeah.
And then all you can do from there is, I'll just find a quick picture. I'll drag a picture into here. Perfect.
And it'll put it on every
it'll put it on everyone. So you can. It's just really easy for repeating a picture, repeating a pattern, anything like that. But yeah, repeat grid is great.
So what sort of tools do you think they should add to something like this? Like you've touched on obviously more masking effects, so sort of like multiply.
Yeah.
All those kind of blends. Do you think they should add anything else? Maybe create a bit more creating in here, is in terms of vector write, that sort of thing, or should all these be integrated?
Well, at the moment, I think it's a great software, especially with the prototype option. But I do think you should be able, or you could, they could have the idea of like Adobe Muse inside XD. I think if you could design a full website and then code it inside this, it'd be absolutely great. Like Adobe Muse used to be able to, but they stopped that.
So we used to create them in Photoshop.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think going forward, XD is going to really, Photoshop's going to be pointless?
Yeah.
Eventually, once they start putting a bit more detail into this.
Yeah, because the great positive about XD is that it's completely vector. So whereas Photoshop, it's completely, like, obviously it's pixels. Say if you design something and you pen tool something or you make a square, it's going to be pixels. Whereas if you design something in this, it's like designing in Illustrator, it's all vector. So if you import Illustrator files, it's just
perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. You don't need anything else. The only problem with this is I wish it had more blending options. I wish it had rulers. I just wish it was a more user-friendly to a designer like me and you.
Yeah, so do you think it's more, I know it's quite, like you say, it's probably missing that design element to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Trying to like do better composition, hierarchy and all that.
Yeah.
It's more of a developer's tool than a design tool.
Yeah.
Do you think it's just lacking?
Yeah, I think once it has a few features like what Illustrator or Photoshop has, it'll be a lot better. But I think it's quite new. It's only been released. I think it was this year or last year, late last year. It's quite a new software. I know Adobe are always releasing updates for this, and it is a brilliant app, and I definitely recommend it to anyone. But and I'll just go over a few different things before I close this tutorial. is another great thing is you can just publish the prototype from here, or you can even record a video. So say if we want to show a client something really fast and he just we were going to take on a USB or something, we could record a video of us actually pulling that slider, which is really, really great. Also, publish design specs. This is for your developer. So this will publish all the fonts, the colours, everything all the padding, all the CSS, and it'll just give it to your designer. Also, you can require a password on there to create like a private link. Also, I don't know if many people will, but I've seen quite a few apps lately getting created on XD, which is great. Is get your UI kits all inside XD. So if you want Apple, Google, or Windows, just get all your UI kits here. It'll open up a browser. It'll let you download them. But that's a great feature because you can get all the battery, all the information from a phone and just put it into your designs.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a really great app, and it's got a lot of it's got a lot of upcoming features what I think people want, and I think Adobe will add
What
it.
we're saying, more blending options.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and obviously they've added loads of plugins. You can see we've downloaded just a few of them. So there's like rename artboards, Angle, so you can make cool looking mock-ups on Angle, Artboard Plus, which is rearrange all your artboards. So some of these are really great, and Change Case is a famous one from Illustrator.
Yeah.
So they have started to put...
So that angle one is I see it all the time on Instagram.
Yeah.
People showcasing their finest work, obviously through using that add-on. So,
Yeah.
You know, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, all these plugins are in XD. I mean, they allow you just to install these on the go.
Mm-hmm.
So it is great. But I do say to everyone, stop using Photoshop, definitely use XD. It is the way forward for web development and app development now. It's just a great program. And that's it from me and Lee from Creative Canopy. There's just a few quick tips and tricks from XD, and we'll be back with more next week, won't we?
Yeah, we'll be back.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Righto, thank you. Thank you very much.